It's an autumn extravaganza in the heart of the village of Roscommon Saturday, October 4th. Kidtoberfest at Hiawatha Park from 12 to 4 p.m. with family-friendly games, prizes, bounce houses, food, and drinks. 5 live bands bring on Rocktoberfest from 1 to 10:30 p.m. at the new Asable River Center Pavilion. Try delicious culinary offerings from local restaurants, food trucks, and concessions. Plus a great selection of craft domestic beer and wine. It's autumn magic at Kidtoberfest and Rocktoberfest October 4th in the village of Roscommon.
Here at Pioneer Hills Marine in Roscommon, summer has flown by, and sadly, it's time to start preparing for winterizing your boat. If you're someone who likes to do it yourself, Pioneer Hills Marine has all the winterizing supplies you need. Or, if you'd rather spend more time with your friends and family, bring it to us and we can do it for you. Pioneer Hills Marine now offers fall detailing. Get your boat detailed before you put it away so it's all ready to go come spring. Pioneer Hills Marine, making memories priceless.
The Wild-Eyed Southern Boys return. 38 Special. The special guest Molly Hatchet. Saturday, November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $39. On sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. 38 Special and Molly Hatchet. November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
It's time for the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show on Up North Sports Radio with your host, Rich Calkins.
It is time for the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Dedicated to providing the best customer service and the best offers, JimWernigChevrolet.com. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you this morning. And Kevin O'Connell right out of the gates, the head coach of the Gaylord St. Mary's
From Dublin,
Snowbirds.
Ireland.
Yeah, exactly.
Or no, they're not in Ireland. They moved from Ireland to London this week. Good morning, Coach.
How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good, Jerry. How are you? Hi, Rich.
Hello, buddy. Well, a 54-8 convincing win last night against Pellston, Kevin. You really got the Snowbirds rolling along here.
Yeah, we played well in the first half. We got a lot of kids in, and we're doing our best to stay healthy, but we got a lot of things to clean up, obviously, with young kids. We make stupid mistakes and stupid penalties, so we got to clean those things up because we talked to them at halftime that those penalties are not going to survive, against I-Lakes or into the playoffs. So, nonetheless, a good win. We came out healthy, so we'll take it and move on.
Yeah, Kevin, that's when you have those young teams, you'll see a couple of games put together and you're like, all right, they're really putting it together. They're doing great. And then all of a sudden, like you said, because I experienced that with Traverse City West last night, all of a sudden these penalties that come out of the blue, out of nowhere, and they just keep making them. And you're like, but again, it's a lot of sophomores, a lot of kids like that. And man, sometimes it's a little bit frustrating.
It is. It was funny on the way home last night. We were doing the math and looking at our team. We have the most experienced kid we have on our team is Charlie Cameron, and he has 13 varsity games.
Yeah.
So, it's like there's no substitute for varsity or senior kids,
right,
let alone junior kids that have logged 18 varsity games. We just have so many young kids that just don't have the experience. We're getting better. We're working through it. We hammer it in practice. But, when you deal with 15, 16-year-old kids, they make mistakes. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of the mistakes that we made and we evaluated them at halftime are very fixable.
Sure.
A lot of the offsides were center going on the echo of the call versus the early part of it. And we have a very aggressive offensive and defensive line, and I don't want to tame them. It's nice to have a line that wants to get off the ball, but a half second later would be even better if we don't give up 5 yards.
Yeah. Kevin, yeah, exactly. Like you said, there's that fine line that you walk between, I want you to be aggressive, but you can't just cross that line to where, you're getting penalized at times. But, you'll always take that, look, I need to, calm things down just a little bit, just a half a tick slower or something like that, than trying to get a kid to be more aggressive. Usually they either have it or they don't.
We always say that we'd rather pull the reins back than give them the shot collar. And, we don't have to give them the shot collar. We just have to pull them back a little bit. And that's you can ask anybody, that's a comfortable position to be in. So we got some kids that like to get after it.
Yeah, no, that's certainly a good thing, Coach, for sure. And, and that's the good thing is most of them will be coming back and all of that good stuff, but we're not even there yet. But, looking at that Breckenridge team that you have coming up next week, they're 4-2. They're, put together some solid wins. So that certainly could be a nice challenge for you.
It's a huge challenge. We saw them in the playoff, in our scrimmage. And that was by design. I mean, we saw Onekama, Breckenridge, and Pickford in our scrimmage. And we knew we were going to see Breckenridge week 7. They're solid. They're well coached. They have an injury bug, but they're through their gauntlet. They went Merrill, Montebello, Fulton, and then us. And them pulling out that win against Fulton was huge. So, but you're absolutely right. I mean, our mentality after the game was, we are now in playoff mode. We cannot afford to lose to Breckenridge. We cannot. With strength of schedule and playoff points and things like that, with a big game looming week 9, we can't slip. So, Monday we are in playoff mode.
Coach, going backwards a little bit, you've played a couple of teams that, you should have dominated, and you have. Obviously, you want to see excellent execution. Do you start inserting some plays or different gadgets to see if they'll work against somebody else?
Wow, are you at our meetings, Jerry? Because, we started doing that. We always plant a seed to either work that week. If it's not working by Wednesday, it'll go in the next week and see what it works. So we have, the past 3 weeks, we have introduced new schemes, per se, without screwing up our O-line blocking scheme.
Okay.
And that's difficult at times to do, but we want those big guys up front not to think. We just want them getting off the ball and wrecking people. So how do we modify or tweak things with totally not changing our blocking scheme and making them think? So for the past 3 weeks, we've introduced a few new schemes, running and passing. If we are polished by Wednesday, great. If they are not, they don't go in, and we, table them till the next week. So, yeah, we add some things every week. Will we add some things this week? Absolutely, yeah.
No, but, you're up 42-0 in the third quarter. Doesn't it ever pop into your head, well, yeah, that didn't work great in practice, but let's give it a shot and see how it works against, some people that don't expect it coming?
No, our OC, Justin Sherwinski, he puts a black marker on it. If it's not ready by Wednesday, it does not go in the game.
Okay, that's fair.
We do not use the game as a trial and error method. So if it's good on Wednesday, great. If it's not, it doesn't go in.
Well, that's way different. It used to be like we're up by 40. We'll throw it to Coin, see if you can catch it.
I know. We'll try some things.
Yeah. He hasn't scored this year. Let's the Dan Skipper play.
Yeah.
I think it's a mentality thing. It's just we got bit by the injury bug. We got Charlie standing on the sidelines, and Charlie's 6'3", 260, and he's a man, and he's a junior, and he's a tight end and defensive end, and he's standing on the sidelines in a sling, and Cal Royce is standing there hobbling around with a knee injury, and I think that sits in the back of some coach's brain, especially mine, risk aversion.
Right.
Do we introduce new stuff? Let's just get in, let some of these new guys get in, let them see what varsity reps are like, and get in and get out and stay healthy. So I think it's more of a risk aversion thing, and I'm not normally like that, but I think that settled in a little bit last night where let's not try new things. If we can let some of these younger guys get some carries and some touches, great. Let's just come out healthy.
Yeah, Kevin, a 6'3", 260-pound tight end in 8-player football, that's legit.
Yeah, he's a man. He's a man, but in a boy's body, though. He's a great kid. I hope we get him back this week. I really do. But,
okay, I was going to ask about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope we get him back. He's got his shoulder. It's kind of tweaked. We're not in a rush to get him back. Ideally, he wants to come back, but he's not coming back until he's 100%. We're not going to risk that getting injured. But, I'll be honest, when we can hand it off to Logan Grenier and just let that mule run, we're in a good place. I mean, that kid is a mule.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a big load. I mean, he's 6'3", 215, runs like Earl Campbell.
Wow.
He's a man.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you've had some kids there that are good-sized kids for being such a small school, but just run down the field, put their head down, and just eat up yardage.
And that's it, and that's the style of offense we want. We're not an explosive offense per se. We can have some explosive plays, but we are built to run the ball. I mean, I'm not hiding anything. We pound the rock.
Right.
And we got some folks that can do it. But we have some kids, too, that on the perimeter can get it done, with our quarterback and our receivers and things like that. But I like where we're at. We're not going to screw around with our offensive line. They are in a awesome place right now.
It's a good thing.
They are coming off the ball, wrecking people. And when you have your offensive line, you can ask anybody. When your offensive and defensive line are intact, only good things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's it sounds like a same kind of business decision to tackle that guy like it was for Cal Gilling, Coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's who came to mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that dude's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those sophomore safeties are.
Yeah.
They're not throwing the shoulder in there.
Yeah.
Well, the sad part is both of them aim for him. Instead of running away, they got 20 yards of grass between the hash and the sideline, and they make a beeline to the safety to run him over. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Seeking out people.
Some guys just like to hit.
That contact,
Coach.
man.
We're playing football, but you might as well get a little dirty.
Yeah.
I know. Like, why don't you get 10 more yards? I wanted to run him over. Like, all right, good for you.
Okay. Yeah, I think Jerry and I talked about this. Cal reminded us of a John Riggins light type of run. His style of running and everything. He looked like the high school version of John Riggins.
Right, and no one person brought him down, and he would
never.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So, Coach, you've got.
Breckenridge
this week, and then who?
Holton, and then Inland Lakes is the big one.
Oh yeah,
the end
of the.
Yeah, who do we play week 9 again?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to scout them out a little bit.
yeah, they're only the number one team in the state, and I think they've only given up 14 yards or 14 points.
I was going to say, there's no way they've given up just 14 yards this year.
No, they've given up 14 points. It was probably in the fourth quarter. They're dominant. I mean, don't get me wrong, they did a nice job there. You can't replace the Fenstermaker kid, but they replaced him with the Ty Colley kid, and they got Bradford, and then Fenstermaker's cousin's the other guy. And, I don't know. They feed them hay up there. They are huge. Holy cow.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be Smash Mouth. Is it there or at St. Mary's, Coach?
We got them in our place, baby.
Yeah, you guys don't go on the road again, Kevin, until the playoffs potentially.
Home cooking.
Yeah,
that's the plan. I think looking ahead, we got to get Breckenridge.
Yep.
We get Holton. Depending upon the turnout of the I-Lakes game, we're either on the road or staying at home for a little bit because I-Lakes is going to give us a ton of points if we can get them.
I would suggest the old school mass at 3:30 on Friday.
That is an excellent suggestion, Jerry, and I think Father would be more than happy to give us a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It never hurts to have, the Lord's over around the corner anyway, so you might as well drag him into the stands.
Exactly.
Well, Kevin O'Connell, you got the Snowbirds rolling along. Congratulations thus far. best of luck next week against Breckenridge, and go Snowbirds.
Awesome. Thank you, Rich. It's always awesome talking to you guys. Have a great day, Jerry.
All right. Go Irish.
All right, go Irish. Take care, guys.
All right. See you, Kevin. The always excited Kevin O'Connell.
Well, he's having a good time. I'm glad it sounds like those injuries are not season ending, because that's what's been happening to the Snowbirds. Seems like almost every year they lose a couple of really important kids. And, and most of them are playing both ways anyways.
Right.
I haven't seen this. I got to figure out
there's
going to that I-Lakes game on
that's going to be on the
24th
24th of October here. That is going to be a go-to game for sure. And like you said, with it being a home for them, that's super cool for sure.
Well, I'm not driving to I-Lakes.
Yeah, right, exactly. But a cozy little drive right up I-75.
Well, they have a beautiful church as well. Crossing the Woods is right around the corner there.
Yeah, so, no doubt. Mm-hmm. All right, when we come back, we are going to have Mark Jarsfer from the Gladwin Flying G's coming off a big win last night on the road to previously once beaten Shepherd. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernick GMC in Gaylord.
Attention business owners and contractors. Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord has 3 2025 Chevrolet Express 2500 cargo vans in stock, and they must go. Save up to $5,000 per van with prices starting at just $42,438. That is serious capability at a price that works as hard as you do. Hurry! Only 3 available, and when they're gone, they're gone. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See dealer for details.
Just like Northern Michigan High School athletes, Saab relies on trust, drive, and expertise. Those are the values it takes to have a winning season, and the same values that power Saab's mission, keeping people and society safe. Hi, I'm David Howley, Project Manager for Saab in Northern Michigan. Saab is dedicated to being a responsible neighbor, a reliable employer, a steward of the environment, and a proud supporter of Northern Michigan High School athletics. Saab in Northern Michigan.
Think you know football? Go head-to-head for prizes with the Traverse City Record Eagles' own pro, senior sports writer James Cook. Pick your winners for every Sunday NFL matchup at record-eagle.com. If you beat James, you'll be entered to win a weekly prize from our Record Eagle sponsors. Make your picks each week, plus get contest rules and details at record-eagle.com/NFL Pick'em. Can you show up one of Northern Michigan's most trusted sports voices? James Cook's NFL Sunday Pick'em at record-eagle.com.
The Wild-Eyed Southern Boys return. 38 Special. The special guest Molly Hatchet. Saturday, November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $39. On sale now at the box office or online at etix.com. 38 Special and Molly Hatchet. November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
With falling leaves come falling prices at Jim Wernick GMC in Gaylord. Right now, lease a 2025 GMC Sierra Double Cab for just $199 per month. Or step up to a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab for only $225 a month. These are 24-month, 10,000-mile per year leases and come with just $19.95 due at signing. See it all this fall in a brand new GMC. Visit GMCCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernick GMC in Gaylord today. See dealer for all details.
Score Lions Thanksgiving Day tickets in Jay's Sporting Goods Touchdowns on Turkey Day giveaway. Jay's Sporting Goods in Gaylord and Clare are giving you the chance to score a pair of tickets for the Lions Thanksgiving Day game at Ford Field against the Packers November 27th, plus a $50 gas card. Stop by either Jay's Sporting Goods location in Gaylord or Clare to scan the in-store QR code or go to q100michigan.com and register to win. You can register once per day and have until midnight on Sunday, October 26th, with the winner being announced live Monday, October 27th at 1 p.m. on our sister station, Q100 Michigan 100.3 WQON. There's no purchase necessary. For complete contest rules and details, click the Jay's Sporting Goods Touchdowns on Turkey Day graphic on the UpNorthSportsRadio.com homepage. From 101.1 WGRY Up North Sports Radio.
6:30.
Well, yeah. Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. And joining us now is the head coach of the Gladwin Flying G's, Mark Jarsfer. And Mark, you took on a really tough Shepherd team last night, but you come away with another win, 25-14.
Yeah, and they certainly were tough. I got your text yesterday that you wanted to have me on, and there was no one more relieved because I know you guys are the good luck charm. So,
see, okay. Coach knows. Coach knows.
Go ahead, Coach. All right.
And so, like all joking aside, they're very good, and we kind of saw this coming from a year ago. Last year they came up to our place and. They were just a ton of sophomores everywhere, and although the final score didn't indicate that it was close, you could really tell that they had all the pieces in the right spots, and just knew that with bringing as many guys back as they were going to, that they were going to get bigger, faster, stronger, play with more confidence, and so ended up being a great high school matchup of two teams that really wanted it for different reasons. Like obviously we needed that win to help push us closer to playoff berth, and our backs are against the wall in that regard. And they're trying to kind of get a statement win to show that they've really turned the corner there. And so, at halftime we were down 7-6, and then in the second half we just kind of got back to the basics and pulled out a gritty win.
Yeah, Coach, I knew, after that rough start because of, again, the really difficult schedule to start your season, and then you get that really big emotional win over Clare, and then things just kind of really picked up from there. The kind of kids started really believing in themselves, and right now, things are going real well for you.
Yeah, and, we tried to keep that, our kids' mentality right and mindset right with how things were transpiring earlier in the year, because we really didn't feel like last year, from a talent perspective, was too much different than what we have this year. Obviously, we're younger this year, but, last year we opened with Flint, Carmen, Ainsworth, and Beaverton, and so we started out 2-0, and then lost to Clare and Ogama in back-to-back weeks, and, then everybody thought the world was falling at that point. But last year we went on to win a district title and play Frankenmuth in a regional title. And so this year we just started out with Spring Lake and Flat Rock, which are, as you mentioned, two very good teams. And we lost those two and then played Ogama. And so we were 0-3, and the world was falling at that point. And so just keeping their mindset in the right place and focusing on, getting better each week and knowing that we were going to turn the corner at some point was our point of emphasis. And now we're trying to get ourselves into the playoffs and see if we can't get back to another regional final.
Yeah, Coach, you've got Midland Bullet Creek next week, a solid program, and then the crossover game with the Jack Pine Conference. What's it looking like right now, that who you might match up with in Week 8?
Yeah, I think if we were to win this week, I think we would draw Harrison at that point. It looks like, they're pretty solidly locked into that second spot. I believe they play Farwell this week, and so they should be kind of favored in that game. And if they take care of business, they would be there. And then I think we're pretty much locked into that number 2 spot. I'm not 100% certain on that. I haven't looked at the standings a ton, but and then obviously we just need to take care of business this week anyways, and
right.
We'd be in the 2 spot. So, which would be a good matchup for us, the way that works, obviously 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, so on. And so that would be the 2 versus 2 matchup. And if we were to get Harrison from a playoff point perspective, they're sitting there at 5-1 right now. Obviously, if they win this week, 6-1. And so if we were able to pull that off, it would give us a good playoff point boost as well with all the bonus points they would bring.
Yeah, Coach, that's what it's all about now, is those playoff points, playing good teams and beating good teams, and that really helps your team overall.
Yeah, that was part of the reason that we scheduled the way that we did. The other part was we didn't really have an option. There's so many teams that turned us down. But, yeah, it's everybody's in a race to try to find that delicate balance of playing solid teams to make sure that you get enough playoff points and also trying to, stack some wins up. And so it truly is a delicate balance. Obviously, especially with our league being as tough as it is,
sure.
Those non-conference games, you got to get some of them to give yourself a chance.
Coach, how's the health?
that's been a whole. We could spend a whole radio show on just that with the Flying G's. You know, we only have 8 seniors that really play significant minutes. 3 of them are either out for the season or have missed multiple games. And, you know, just in contrast there, we've started 9 sophomores, many of them playing both ways, or at least one way, and contributing significant minutes. And then obviously just a handful of juniors that mesh all of that together. And so we're super young, like very, very young. And then with the injuries on top of that it hasn't been helpful. But I mean, you get that in the small school football stuff, you know, and it's just a constant shell game of moving people around and trying to put people in the best position to be successful. And I get with all the success that we've had, no one is going to feel sorry for us. And so we just do our best to figure it out. And so far, so good, you know, over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, everybody has their problems. You're right about that, Coach. But, you know, it obviously pays off. Sophomores playing now means, you know, better delivery next year and so on. But we talk to a lot of coaches. If you get lucky, kids miss a couple of games, not the whole year.
Yeah, and I mean, one of our guys, you know, that he's starting inside backer for us. We moved him to running back against Claire, and he carried the ball 19 times. And, you know, 100 yards and allowed us to do some things with our other running back, move him around, that really won us that game. And so we were really, really excited about that concoction, you know, going forward. And then 1 week later, you know, he has a Liz Frank injury in his foot, and is you know, done for this his career because he's a senior. And it's just man, we can't catch a break here with these, you know, injuries. Just when we finally think we get the right fit there, you know, he goes down and in comes another sophomore. And so it's like we're fortunate that we have some really good sophomores. And like you said, you know, they're playing a ton and they're getting a ton of experience. But you know, the fact of it is just that when you go against the Shepherds and Ogemaws and Flat Rocks and Spring Lakes and Bullet Creeks, those guys are all massive, like massive. And, you know, when you're dealing with sophomores, they're just not as big and strong. No. And they
very
certainly take their legs
into their body.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right. And so it will pay off, you know, like you mentioned, and I'm glad that we're still getting some wins now and continuing on with the success that we've had. And I truly do believe that if we can sneak ourselves into the playoffs, we'll have a shot at winning, you know, our second straight district title, which will be 3 out of the last 4 years. And we really got a good thing going, and that's just a tribute to the kids showing up and buying in, and, you know, regardless of what the situation is or what the health is, they're willing to sacrifice and do the things that we're asking them to do, and because of it, we feel like, you know, we have a chance to be successful every week, regardless of what the situation is.
Right. Coach, I don't know if you saw, you probably did, but Ogemaw put a 70 burger on Bullock Creek last night.
Yeah, I mean, Ogemaw is in a different stratosphere. They're so good this year. Chad has done a great job over there, and you know, they're always a tough out. I would say that's, you know, one of our biggest rivals. We've played them, you know, 7 times in just over 3 years or something now. Yeah. And so we always play them tough just because we know each other so well. But yeah, he has so much talent right now, and I know he's enjoying it. And so I would guess that we probably won't put a 70 burger on Bullock Creek, but we'll hope that you know, Ogemaw beat them up a little bit, and we can sneak in and, you know, put a good game plan together and get out with the win.
Yeah, Coach, that's what it's all about. You got some home cooking the next 2 weeks, so certainly enjoy that, having some home games. Yeah,
it's our homecoming this week. It's always good to see all the alumni come back, and, you know, former players. Now that I've been in Gladwin for a while, you know, the amount of former players that I have is starting to stack up. This is year number 7, and so you do appreciate those things as you you know, the longer you're into the coaching profession, and it'll be a cool week all the way around. My daughter's the princess for the homecoming festivities. Oh, nice. And, that's great. And yeah, so hoping to spend a little time, you know, at least 2 minutes being a dad for that, and you know, just enjoying the environment and talking to former people and everything that week brings.
Coach.
So.
Yeah, you got the state championship kids coming back too now and all of that. So some really fond memories there, Coach.
Yeah, certainly. It's always a good time to be a Flying G.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you joining us here. Whenever I give you a text, you're right away answering it and wanting to come on. So appreciate what you're doing with the Flying G program, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Mark
take care,
Charsfer
Coach.
from the Flying G's of Gladwin. Really excellent guy to be leading that program there, JC.
Yeah, the inverse happening for Coach Jarsfer. Injuries, in high school football, especially with such, low numbers, and what are they, Division 5?
Yeah.
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 So they probably, have 35 kids, maybe 35, 40 kids.
Right. Maybe, 40 would be a big number for sure.
And your stars are playing both ways. You lose a kid that you're counting on for 80 snaps.
Right.
It shoots such a huge hole through. It happens even in the NFL.
Yeah.
You lose a star, it's a problem. But credit to Coach Jarsfer and the program they're putting together, that those sophomores are ready to step in and play meaningful minutes.
Yeah, no question. No, doing a good job for sure. So when we return, we're going to have Matt Silsbury from the Gaylord Blue Devils with us. Also, the announcement of the National Guard Student Athlete of the Week. You are listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord.
It's time for the Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it.
I'm Melissa Sullivan, outdoor enthusiast and your host. This week I'm exploring the Leota Trail System in Clare County. Perfect for a day trip or a weekend adventure. The area really is very sandy, and it can get whooped out on busy weekends. The soft sand and chatterbumps are really the largest obstacles you'll encounter. Well, that and oncoming traffic. The Little Leota Trail is a great place to practice your ATV and dirt bike sand riding skills. And if you're looking for a longer run in your side-by-side or an overlanding adventure, the Leota South River Route offers amazing riverside dispersed camping spots. Clare County's ORV ordinance does allow you to ride on some county roads. Keep it at 25 miles an hour or less, and keep your lights on. ATVs and dirt bikes will enjoy an amazing bridge crossing the Muskegon River right out of the trailhead. And not far from these trails is Outdoor Equipment Co., where you can check out the new Kawasaki Teryx H2. But if you can't wait until your next trip up north, visit us at upnorthsportsradio.com to experience the supercharged future of off-roading.
This has been your Up North Sports Radio Northern Michigan Trail Report, brought to you by your Michigan Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit. OutdoorEquipCo.com. Toro, count on it. Mowing the yard will no longer be a chore with a Toro Time Cutter, built to tackle big jobs while fitting in small spaces with zero-turn maneuverability. Getting on and off the mower is a breeze with a step-through front end. Comfort comes standard with a seat that provides the ultimate in padding and back support. The Toro Time Cutter is available in a variety of deck sizes and special features. Head to your local Toro authorized dealer, Outdoor Equipment Co. in Houghton Lake, Lansing, and Detroit, or visit OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Toro, count on it.
Need serious work trucks at serious savings? Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord has you covered. Right now, get a 2025 Silverado 2500 HD with a Redding service body for just $61,867. Or step up to a 2025 Silverado 3500 HD regular cab with a 9-foot dump body for only $66,906. You'll save over $4,000 on each truck. Built to work, price to move. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See dealer for details.
If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education or where your talents lie, the Michigan Army National Guard has most of the answers. Your participation in a few yearly training exercises will make you stronger and part of a patriotic team. You will also receive up to $50,000 in scholarships towards your education, including training and placement in exciting tech and medical fields. Build your future and support your country. Apply to miarmyguard.com. That's miarmyguard.com.
Soar to new heights of winning with Eagle Casino and Sports. Enjoy your favorite games wherever you are, whether at home or on the go. Dive into exciting slots, spin the roulette wheel, or challenge yourself with virtual table games, all at your fingertips. Sign up now and opt in to receive a deposit match up to $1,500 for the casino, plus up to 100 free spins. Download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today and experience winning with just a tap. Go you! Must be located in Michigan and 21 years or older. Other conditions apply. Visit playeagle.com to join the action. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
One of the great dining traditions returns to Benetham's, the monthly theme menu. Rich Oktoberfest flavors include the addictive Reuben egg rolls, creamy Alpen chicken sauté, and a delicious traditional Wiener Schnitzel. Pair that with a seasonal craft beer or a lovely Riesling and take a dining trip to Bavaria at Benetham's. Of course, the 4 to 6 p.m. happy hour continues, as well as the truly excellent monthly wine dinner. Visit Benethams.com and reserve your table today. Benetham's, for the true love of food. With falling leaves come falling prices at Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord. Right now, lease a 2025 GMC Sierra Double Cab for just $199 per month. Or step up to a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab for only $225 a month. These are 24-month, 10,000-mile per year leases and come with just $1995 due at signing. See it all this fall in a brand new GMC. Visit GMCCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord today. See dealer for all details.
It's time to announce the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week here on Up North Sports Radio. If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education, build your future, and support your country, apply to miarmyguard.com. miarmyguard.com.
Hi, this is Sergeant First Class Ryan Klein with the Michigan Army National Guard, recruiter for the Gaylord area. I'm proud to announce that the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week is Jaron Bensinger of the Gaylord High School Blue Devils. Congratulations, Jaron. I'll be dropping by Gaylord High School with some National Guard swag just for you. Also, visit the miarmyguard.com to set your career in motion.
Congratulations to the Michigan Army National Guard Student Athlete of the Week here on Up North Sports Radio's High School Scoreboard Show. If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education, build your future, and support your country, apply to miarmyguard.com.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. And joining us now is the head coach of the Gaylord Blue Devils, Matt Silsbury. And Matt, congratulations on Jaron Bensinger being named the National Guard Student Athlete of the Week.
Thanks. Yeah, Jaron's a great kid. He's a workhorse for us, both offensively and defensively. He puts a lot of work and effort in the offseason to make himself better. He's a heck of a wrestler. You know, I can't say enough good things about Jaron and the things he brings to the team. He's a great leader, you know, and he has the back of his entire team every single day. So he's an excellent kid, very deserving of this award.
Yeah, great family, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Coach, when you text me what he did in that 37-9 win against Cadillac, 2 games ago now, but he forced 2 fumbles that his teammates recovered and returned for touchdowns. That's the consummate team player. He gets the punch out, the other kids get the glory, but he's doing all the dirty work.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just kind of Jaron in a nutshell. To him, it's about a team effort and winning as a team, and he is 100%, got the back of his teammates and not really searching for any glory at any moment. He just wants to go out there and do his best for his friends and his teammates at week in and week out.
Yeah,
Coach Shimoniak returned to Gaylord, bringing Alpina in. Tell us a little bit about the game.
Yeah, we knew that we were going to get Alpina's best shot. It's an emotional game. Sure. I have great respect for the things that Coach Shimoniak's doing. He did here and that he's doing over in Alpina. And no doubt in my mind that he'll get that turned around. Anytime you go into a situation like that, it's just going to take some time to get your feet planted and get things moving in the right direction. And he certainly has done that in, expedient fashion. So I look for good things to come from Alpina in the future. As far as we go, we went in with a game plan to just kind of do the things we do, improve on the stuff that we already have in the playbook, and come out and, just execute. That was really the focus. It's still, there's room for improvement. There's a lot of penalties that, while they didn't necessarily kill us in the end, it's just stuff that needs to be cleaned up. So I look forward to again, I say this all the time,
we don't have a week off on our schedule. Every week we take it 1 week at a time, evaluate our opponents and go from there. And there's certainly things when we go back and watch the film that, we have to clean up, and penalties being one of those after, a hard fought battle last night, high emotions running high, homecoming game. There's a lot of extracurricular activities going on. I certainly understand that those mistakes can happen. It's just something that moving forward, we've got to make sure that we take care of and exercise caution when we're in those situations.
Yeah, Coach, looking overall at what you've done so far, your first 4 games, you get 4 one-score wins in there, and then now the last couple of weeks, you've had certainly more sizable wins. What's been the difference the last couple of weeks and what you noticed with this team?
Well, just a lot of growth. I guess when you really look at the film and the things that we're doing, obviously, coming in May, and a lot of people don't know this, but our offensive coordinator didn't really get there till August.
Oh.
So,
that's kind of late. Yeah.
Yeah. We were kind of searching for the right person to put in that spot, and I think we really found him in Coach Jernigan. And all of the other coaches were chipping in and helping, and we knew we just had to get the right fit for the kids.
Sure.
And obviously that worked out in our favor. But yeah, I think week in and week out, we just learned. We work to get better at the things we do at our craft, so to speak, and, try to execute a little better every week. And it really just is about polishing those things and week in and week out, getting a little better at the things that we do.
Well, it sounds like the offense is starting to take. I know you have some great quarterback play, and Coach Jernigan and Hay are probably getting on the same page now.
Yeah, I really think it boils down to everybody starting to get on the same page. We've got Coach Bolter, who coaches the O-line, and he's a relentless mentor for those guys. He does an excellent job in season and off season. He's constantly working with those guys and making them better. And then Coach Jay is, working with the quarterbacks, and then both Coach Benzinger with the running backs. And all those pieces have to work together in order to put the product on the field that we're trying to put on the field from an execution standpoint. So, I think it's all starting to come together. It's obviously the situation is what it is, and we've just got to roll with the punches. But week in and week out, we've just got to get better at the things that we need to do to win and come out on top.
What do you got next, Coach?
At undefeated Escanaba.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Yeah. What a great high school. If you're a high school fan, Coach, that matchup really is a good one. 2 6-0 teams competing up there with the Escanaba Eskimos.
Absolutely, and Escanaba is an excellent football team. We've watched some film on them. They're tough. They're big. I expect that.
That's a surprise.
A lot of pasties. A lot of pasties being eaten up there.
Beat Marquette pretty handily last night.
Yeah.
So,
it's and anytime you have to go to the UP, it's not necessarily, it's a hostile environment for those of us under the bridge. So, and it's okay. I think we're going to go up there. We'll have a great game, and if we can do the things we need to do and execute and clean up some of the things that kind of detracts from what we're trying to do offensively, we'll be fine. Defensively, we've got to do our jobs, stay solid, and do what we've been doing all year, and that's just play sound, solid defense.
Yeah, Coach.
Hopefully it doesn't snow.
Yeah. Well, Coach, these are the kind of teams that really, I know, because with the success that you're having there at Gaylord right now, you guys have high expectations and going to the playoffs and things like that. But these matchups with a team like Escanaba really get you ready for those like playoff kind of football.
Yeah, like I said, Escanaba is truly a great team. They're big. They execute well. They do a lot of things very well. It's going to be a good sound football game, and 2 good teams going at it. And again, we just have to focus on us and the things we can control. Go out there and execute and play sound defense, and come out on top at the end. Is the end goal. But again, they have the same goals, right? They want to win a conference championship just like we do. They want to go to the playoffs just like we do, just like every other team does. And those goals on each side parallel each other, and we're just going to have to slug it out.
Yeah, with them being a fairly new member of the Big North now and everything, Coach, yeah, like you said, they would love to win a conference championship in football.
Yeah, they do a lot of good things well up there. again, I watched the film, and they're just a sound football team. And you know, in saying that, so are we. You know, again, we've got to go up there and we've got to do the things we need to do in order to win. And if we can do that, we'll be fine. And if we, you know, come out and we start slow and make mistakes and don't win the turnover battle, it's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah,
Coach, how's your health?
Honestly, I think we're great. We escaped the injury bug last night.
It's good.
Really looking forward to get some of the kids with dings healed up and ready to go.
Yeah, good, Coach. Now that is a Friday night game, Coach?
It is. Friday in Escanaba.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a couple of spectator buses head up, and a big crowd will join you up there, because certainly your team deserves it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, our crowd travels well, so I'm expecting a pretty big crowd.
Yeah, they do, as a matter of fact, especially when you win, Coach. Keep winning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Matt Salisbury from the Gaylord Blue Devils, congratulations on another big win. And once again, congratulations to Jaron Bensinger for being named the National Guard Student Athlete of the Week.
Okay.
All right.
We probably have time for a few scores here, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have, obviously, the recorded interview with Coach Wagner coming up here after the break. They not a great game by the Titans.
Not at all. No, taking it on the chin on a 31-13 loss by Midland Dow. That their quarterback's the real deal. Kid can throw the ball. Stands in that pocket, good touch, can lay it on the line when he needs to, but real impressive.
They didn't get a lot of pressure on him either.
No,
and he was able to layer in. I mean, his yards per completion had to be close to 20 yards.
Yeah, because the first half they did those crossing routes a ton, and then all of a sudden in the second half they more vertical routes, and it just adjusted. And well coached, well schemed game plan last night for Midland Dow, no question.
Yeah, we've been looking at some of the smaller schools. Mansalona beat East Jordan.
Yeah, that was a good win for the
36-13
Ironmen. Yes,
unfortunately the Kalkaska.
Oh, I know, by a couple of points. Yeah, what a good ball game, though. Both ranked teams.
Yep.
One in Division 8, one in Division 5. Honorable mention. Charlevoix continues their undefeated ways as they beat Elk Rapids 41-8.
Yeah.
Petoskey got a close win over Cadillac.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, 20-13.
Petoskey needed that win.
They did, absolutely.
That's going to probably keep Cadillac out of the playoffs now.
Right.
But I thought the big surprise, Central had no problem with Midland.
With Midland, down at Midland.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like they're getting a little healthier because they missed their running back a couple of weeks. Now he's back, I do believe. And so, to double up a Midland team at their place, that's a big win for sure for the Trojans.
I don't know if you saw it, Beale City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They mollywopped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I did make a phone call to the athletic department trying to get head coach Brad Gross to come on the show here in the future.
Yeah, 58-0 over Lake City. I know it's not a great Lake City team.
It is not. But St. Ignace, how about that, taking care of Rudyard, 46-6.
McBain put it all over Houghton Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a McBain team that just got off a beat down from Beale City last week.
Right.
So Beale City is really good. They're defending state champions. Is
yes,
that right?
They are in Division
they may
8.
be looking at a twofer.
Yeah. Unfortunate loss for the Grayling Vikings at homecoming, 41-27. A lot of points.
There was a close football game until the end.
Yeah.
A couple of drives that they did. They went for it on fourth down. They've been doing that a lot. And it hadn't been paying off for them.
No.
But
the Dan Campbell influence is everywhere in football now.
Yeah, From the listen, I haven't seen them play. Their defense is not great, and so they're trying to keep the offense on the field.
Sure.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you turn it over on downs after a long drive, it can sometimes demoralize you, especially when you have kids. Like half the kids are staying on the field, right?
Yes.
And they're just walking on the other side of the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's so true, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, Kingsley had no problem with Benzie Central. We kind of expected that, 52-12. Joburg got a win.
Yeah.
Last night, 26-14 over the Escoda Owls. Mm-hmm. So good win for Joburg there. They needed that. Frankfurt wins, so 29-7 over Tawas.
And there's just been
How about this Mount Pleasant and Bay City Western score? Only 28-17.
I don't think. Mount Pleasant took it very seriously. Obviously,
it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, you would. You don't want to. Overall, I was looking at a lot of the scores from downstate and everything else. There's just so many blowouts this year. I don't know how much. I mean, do they get style points?
You know what? I don't think the new formula. I don't think it takes into it's the team you play, the success they have, and all of that. I don't think actual scoreboard stuff has anything to do with it. Now, if someone knows differently, contact me, let me know. But I don't think it does.
But you and Rich were able to see a pretty good football game before. The TC Central game. Boyne, what you said, St. Francis made a goal line stand.
They did. In the late third quarter there, Boyne was inside the 5-yard line and stopped him. So big stop for St. Francis, and they were able to hang on to that 20-13 win.
Yeah, Boyne needed that game.
They did, in the worst way, for sure. And Boyne, I told you off the air, they're big. That is a big team. Their quarterback is big and thick. They got some big 280, 300-pound linemen. And St. Francis is
they have at least 3 losses.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, all tough ones.
Yeah,
there, too.
I mean, they lost to Kingsley last week.
Yeah.
And, I can't remember.
And Grayling battled them tough the week before. You know, that could have been one of those. So anyway, we will have the recorded interview. We do have a hard out at 11 o'clock going to Michigan pregame.
U of M football playing Wisconsin, so we have to go right at 11.
Yes, they will cut us off immediately. So
we don't have no recourse.
No, we don't. No, we are at the mercy of them for sure. All right, you're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig, GMC in Gaylord.
With falling leaves come falling prices at Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord. Right now, lease a 2025 GMC Sierra Double Cab for just $199 per month. Or step up to a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab for only $225 a month. These are 24-month, 10,000-mile per year leases and come with just $19.95 due at signing. See it all this fall in a brand new GMC. Visit GMCCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord today. See dealer for all details.
Just like Northern Michigan High School athletes, Saab relies on trust, drive, and expertise. Those are the values it takes to have a winning season, and the same values that power Saab's mission, keeping people and society safe. Hi, I'm David Howley, Project Manager for Saab in Northern Michigan. Saab is dedicated to being a responsible neighbor, a reliable employer, a steward of the environment, and a proud supporter of Northern Michigan High School athletics. Saab in Northern Michigan.
Think you know football? Go head-to-head for prizes with the Traverse City Record Eagles' own pro senior sports writer, James Cook. Pick your winners for every Sunday NFL matchup at record-eagle.com. If you beat James, you'll be entered to win a weekly prize from our Record Eagle sponsors. Make your picks each week, plus get contest rules and details at record-eagle.com/NFL Pick'em. Can you show up one of Northern Michigan's most trusted sports voices? James Cook's NFL Sunday Pick'em at record-eagle.com. If you're worried about the cost of continuing your education or where your talents lie, the Michigan Army National Guard has most of the answers. Your participation in a few yearly training exercises will make you stronger and part of a patriotic team. You will also receive up to $50,000 in scholarships towards your education, including training and placement in exciting tech and medical fields. Build your future and support your country. Apply to miarmyguard.com. That's miarmyguard.com.
Get cooking with Skillet. Saturday, November 29th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort with Michigan's own Pop Evil. Tickets start at $59 and on sale now at the box office or online at etix.com.
Party and play at Soaring Eagle Casino with Skillet and Pop Evil Saturday, November 29th. SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Iron Pig Smokehouse is prepping for this fall's biggest bash. Get to Iron Pig's Otsego Lake Pavilion for the Harvest Party. Saturday, October 11th. Your $5 wristband gets you the pig roast buffet, live music and kids activities. There's a bounce house, petting zoo, and pony rides for a small donation to Coach for Kids. The party rolls from 2 to 7 at the Iron Pig Otsego Lake location. Check out Iron Pig Smokehouse online and on Facebook and get your wristbands today.
Attention business owners and contractors. Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord has 3 2025 Chevrolet Express 2500 cargo vans in stock, and they must go. Save up to $5,000 per van with prices starting at just $42,438. That is serious capability at a price that works as hard as you do. Hurry! Only 3 available, and when they're gone, they're gone. Visit ChevyCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernick Chevrolet in Gaylord. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See dealer for details.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, brought to you in part by Jim Wernig Chevrolet in Gaylord. Rich Calkins, Jerry Coyne in studio with you. And JC, it is time for us to announce the hot matchup of the week, brought to you by Saab.
Yeah, you should have told Coach Silsberg.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
put a little bit more pressure on.
Right, exactly. Trust, drive, and expertise in Northern Michigan. And the obvious choice this week is 2 ranked, undefeated teams, and it's going to be the Gaylord Blue Devils taking on the Escanaba Eskimos.
Yeah.
Right now, going into the games, Gaylord was ranked number 5 in Division 3, and Escanaba number 8 in Division 4.
There you go.
So those are going to be some great matchups. That hot matchup of the week brought to you by Saab, keeping people safe through strength in Northern Michigan.
Yep, that plant is coming along.
It is, yeah. It's starting to see some commercials on TV now, the beautiful facility there. It's looking really good. I actually got some questions up in the press box about that, because they were noticing our banner that we have up now, the nice banner we have, Saab, and they're like, Saab, don't they make cars? And then we got into talking about what they're doing. They're like, oh, that's right.
I don't want to be cute, but he should have just left the camera on the banner the whole game.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. Give it a lot more people could scan it. And
yeah, we'll listen to Coach interview here.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you before the show started, this is the worst game that I've seen.
It was a frustrating game all the way around. The penalties, overall completely in it up at halftime.
It didn't look like the TC West.
No, it didn't. Yeah, kind of uninspired. So this is James Wagner, head coach at Traverse City West. And again, hard out right at 11. If we get cut off, go blue. Joining us now, James Wagner, head coach of West. Coach, one of those games tonight.
Yeah, just a tough night for us tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just couldn't get anything going and couldn't get the mojo kind of going in our direction in the right timing. And I felt like once we did, it was a little bit too late. We even coming out in the second half there, the onside kick that they got and just kind of killed our morale a little bit. But
defense did a good job and stopped them.
They did. They did. And we were able to, we moved the ball at times, just not enough to, continue to stack plays that were consistent in a row without penalties hurting us and derailing us. And again, it's kind of been the story of our season so far of being behind the sticks or doing things to shoot ourselves in the foot where, we back up and it's like you can't win ball games when you have those penalties. And we need to fix that if we expect ourselves to be in competition in this league. And we can score, we can defend, we can do all those things against any of these teams. It's just a matter of playing clean and doing it consistently over time. And right now we're not doing that. And it's, it's hard. It's just really hard to be able to put yourself in a good position to win when that's the way that you're playing, and we got to be able to fix it quickly because time's running out.
Right.
And we need to be able to correct it before we enter into the last third of the season here. And our schedule, it's the next 3 weeks are really tough teams, you know, between Mount Pleasant and Bay City Western and Central. So got a lot to clean up, and there were some positives in there tonight, no doubt about it. But you know, I know this one hurts each of us, and yeah,
it does, Coach. Yeah, for sure. You know, competition-wise on the field, we could compete right with them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like you said, offensively, just couldn't sustain anything tonight. Just
a couple moments there here and there, but just couldn't stack plays
on a regular basis. And you were right about that quarterback, Daigle or what? Man, that kid's the real deal.
He's the real deal. I mean, he's an excellent quarterback.
He places the ball with such perfect touch.
Yes, he does.
And they design plays to really. I mean, those crossing routes in the first half were just spectacular.
Yep, they were
safe plays, like a running play, but in the open field.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like it's hard for a defender on the defensive line in high school ball to realize I'm getting in there so fast that something's up and turn around and maybe go back for the pass. But again, you can't. It's hard for pro players to do that, diagnose it. You know, it's really difficult. But you use the aggressiveness of an opposing team against them.
Yes.
You know, and that's and that happens.
Yeah,
you know?
and they do a good job. I mean, I give their staff credit. Matt's a great coach, and he knows football, and you know, he knows how to counter you, and he, you know, did a good job scheming, and that's really, you know, tip my hat to him and tip my hat to Wynn, who, you know, he can throw that ball, and he's only a junior, so he'll be back next year, and you know, he has such a nice feel for pocket presence. He has such a nice feel for when to escape and when to, you know, just kind of have a nice little touch pass. You know, he just does such a good job of navigating the offense, but you know, we got to be better at being able to, you know, execute and make our, make the tackles on him. Like, we let too many missed tackles go tonight, and it was just, you know, a series of events where you compile some of those things, and it's not going to end up well in your favor. So.
Yeah, for sure. Coach, we did decide on the Fox Motors Motivated Player of the Game, and we're going with sophomore Sawyer Kirshner on that big play off on the left-hand flank there. Turned it into a big one deep into Dow territory there. So that was it played pretty well defensively as well, as he had 8 tackles on defense there. So, and the Jimmy John's Player of the Game will be left up to you and the parents of the game.
Oh man!
So
you know, I'll give it to Liam Bergen.
Okay.
Liam, I know he.
Playing complementary football. Play off each other, feed off each other. We believe, and we're confident in everybody's ability in this locker room to go out there and play. And I'm excited for what's to come.
Michigan football is on the air. Welcome to the pregame show, presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Over the next hour, we'll break down today's key storylines and visit with players and coaches. Wolverines football is also brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. By Barbasol, America's #1 shaving cream. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. And by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Now, let's go to the stadium. Here are the voices of Michigan football, Doug Karsh and John Jansen.
Back from the bye, back at the Big House, and welcome back to all the old-timers, the Bo crowd, the middle-agers, the Lloyd Carr era Wolverines. That's you, John Jansen?
Yes.
And welcome to the recent grads, the Harbaugh era graduates out there. It's homecoming here in Ann Arbor, and it's a maze out at the Big House. Hi again, friends. Doug Karsh alongside the captain, John Jansen. And John, when you see Wisconsin, you think you're going to see a team that lines up and wants to bully you, but the
Did you know that Carter Lumber in Kalkaska is also Carter Kitchen and Bath? Carter can be your one-stop shop for cabinets, countertops, and design assistance. Mention Q100 and save $500 off your new kitchen project. $500. Your local Kalkaska Carter Lumber professional has years of experience in remodels and new builds. They'll turn your vision into a beautiful reality to grace your home for decades. CarterLumber.com is where your vision becomes reality.
We tend to think about taxes only in April, but what if you have a tax question in the other 11 months? Turn to the experts at H&R Block of Mayo. They're open all year round, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Whether or not you filed an extension, it's not too late for H&R Block of Mayo to help you get the biggest refund possible. Visit hrblock.com to get started today. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
The next step in his development is being good on reads, reading the defense, when it's man, when it's zone, when to run through zones, and when to hold up.
And defensively, Rod Moore will play a bigger role this week. Zeke Berry could return. Jair Hill expected back today, but the secondary, some of those young pieces, they really have played well.
Oh, they have. And I tell you what, Jaden Sanders, you watch him walk into a room, you're like, is he a football player?
Yeah.
And then you see him out there, and some guys, they put on the pads and they become a completely different individual. Jaden Sanders is that type of guy. To have that youth in the secondary playing the way it is and have that veteran leadership of Rod, it's nice to see.
It's Michigan and Wisconsin from here at the Big House on a Maze-Out homecoming Saturday. Should be a great day for football. Weather, well, it's nothing but sun in the sky right now and almost no wind. It will be steamy down on the field, 74 degrees right now, on its way to 85. Coming up, we'll preview today's opponent, Wisconsin. Also, our scouting reports, offense, defense, and special teams. Brian Bush, of course, anchoring our coverage as always, and we'll hear from former Wolverines Jack Miller and number 8 Jason Avant, and later, Michigan head coach Sharon Moore. We kick it off just after noon. It's Go Blue versus on Wisconsin. You're listening to Michigan football from Learfield.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of the University of Michigan. Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48226.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first, before talking to your brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line versus the front seven. If they can get pressure without blitzing, this could be a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
They will not catch Donovan Edwards. He will score.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Holy cow, how much Medicare information is there? Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. Didn't I learn this in elementary school? What are all these options? This is Kevin Jansen with Jansen Insurance. Medicare open enrollment is upon us, and if you have questions, Jansen Insurance has answers. Call us at 989-348-6711. Send us an appointment request through our website, or you can just walk into our office the old-fashioned way at 2195 South I-75 Business Loop in Grayling. We look forward to the opportunity to help you make sense of it all.
With falling leaves come falling prices at Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord. Right now, lease a 2025 GMC Sierra Double Cab for just $199 per month. Or step up to a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab for only $225 a month. These are 24-month, 10,000-mile per year leases and come with just $1995 due at signing. See it all this fall in a brand new GMC. Visit GMCCentral.com or stop by Jim Wernig GMC in Gaylord today. See dealer for all details.
Two great Big Ten programs square off today. It's Michigan and Wisconsin. Live from Ann Arbor. Today's broadcast is presented by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
At
after a huge win at Nebraska, then a bye week. The Wolverines are back in action today inside the Big House against longtime conference foe Wisconsin. The Badgers just 2-2 on the young season. Thus, Michigan comes in as a pretty heavy favorite. The Wolverines are locked in, as head coach Sherrone Moore explains.
If you don't understand what the goals and all the things that are out in front of us, you're 1-0 in the Big Ten. You're in a great place. You have everything in front of you. You know, my job right now is to make sure that we're healthy, plan it out right, get us mentally ready to go. But there's not much else you got to say. I think we have great leaders. Our captains are so good of policing the team and understanding what we have to do. But our kids just understand what the goals are at hand.
And as we get into our offensive scouting report, what was at hand for Michigan before this game prep was a bye week. What does offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey focus on during a bye week?
I think the fundamentals and you know, the foundation of our offense, and trying to make sure that, you know, I think throughout the first 4 weeks you start trying to figure out, okay, what are we good at doing? What are we going to kind of hang our hat on, and then clean up our fundamentals and you know, maybe take a look at a couple of little wrinkles here and there. But at the end of the day, I think we try to focus on our team and try to take that next step. You know, we're an offense that's still evolving, and I think for us, you know, we're trying to get better every day out there and building this thing to where we'll be a consistent offense.
John Jansen, how well did the Wolverines take advantage of the bye? And who offensively are you looking to potentially make that next jump, tier up as we hit October post-bye?
Well, if Gio's unable to go, I really want to see Nathan Afobe at that guard position take that next step. Same thing with Jake Warnera. You get a couple of games under your belt. Now you really are able to look and take what you're hearing from the O-line staff and what you're seeing on film and understand it all that much more, and you can take it to the next level. And I've already talked, and I know last time we took the field, Andrew Marsh, I really think he's on the verge of a breakout game, and maybe it is today. And so those are some of the guys. If we're able to get down the depth chart a little bit, Jasper Parker in the backfield. This kid is as talented as they come. It's kind of the same thing with Andrew Marsh. And Coach said this on Monday, right? The further you get away from the ball, the easier it is to play early. So, yeah, we're going to see more of Andrew Marsh. But Jasper Parker, if he could take that next step in understanding some of the defenses and some of the concepts, now all of a sudden, which is rare for a freshman to be able to do. Sometimes with these guys, you just want to hand the ball and say, go get what you can get. When we get to the end of the game, that may be the case. But I think he's another guy that, as the season wears on, we'll see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, John alluded to Giovanni El-Hadi. He and Brady Norton, Michigan's 2 starting guards to kick off the season, both listed questionable on the availability report, as is tight end Hogan Hansen. Zeke Berry off the availability report. He's good to go, as is Ike Iwuna along that Michigan defensive line rotation. The Badgers haven't had a lot go right for them this season. One area that has been good, rush defense. Nobody has been better than Wisconsin in that statistical category. Foes have only mustered 200 total rushing yards in 4 games. That 50 per contest mark is tops nationally. Best opponent in terms of yards per carry was Alabama's 3.3. So what makes this rush defense so strong? Once again, here's offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey.
First of all, they play extremely hard. Coach Dressel, their DC, does a great job. They're fundamentally sound. They, like I said, play extremely hard. They tackle well. Just pretty good in the up front, in the middle of the defense, which you got to be when you're going to be good on defense. So it's a big challenge for us for sure. We got a lot of respect for those guys and what they do, and big challenge for us this Saturday.
Mike Tressel, who has been Luke Fickell's defensive coordinator the last 5 seasons, the last 2 at Cincinnati, including the college football playoff season, and then the 3 years here together at Wisconsin. He's done good work with that rush defense, but certainly pass-wise, Wisconsin has scuffled during their 2-game skid. Ty Simpson, brilliant at quarterback for Alabama. When those 2 teams met in Tuscaloosa, 24 of 29, 382 yards and 4 touchdowns. Billy Edwards' replacement at Maryland, Malik Washington, was strong as well. 18 of 34, 265, 2 touchdowns and no picks in Maryland's road win in Madison. John, thoughts on the unique yin and yang of this Badgers defense?
Well, they want to be good up front. If you're going to have a good defense, it all starts up front. We've talked about that here at Michigan for a number of years. So they are good up front. And now for this offensive line, whether it's a run or a pass, it's about identifying the defense. If you're uncovered, okay, if it's a run, where is the ball starting? Where are, which, if I'm a guard, am I looking to help and work with the tackle? Am I looking to help and work with the center? Where are my linebackers? Where are they going to move once the ball is handed off to the back? all of those things. That's more about concepts of blocking this defense than it is, okay, I've got this specific man. And when it comes to pass protection, it's really the same thing. And you've got to be able to be solid in those because there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get the ball downfield.
Plenty more to do here on the pregame show, which is presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. The defensive scouting report comes your way when we come back. Wolverines and Badgers, about 55 minutes from kick here on a beautiful but warm day in Ann Arbor. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
If you haven't listened to the Defend the Block podcast, here's what you've been missing.
With Will Cheddar, I think that's what our team really needs to be focused on, that 1-0 mentality. Obviously, everyone's aware of what everyone's saying. It's kind of inevitable. If you have a cell phone, you know what's going on. But being able to kind of block that out.
Defend the Block, covering Michigan basketball all year long on MGO Blue Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Hail to the victors. This is Wolverines football from Learfield.
Did you know that Carter Lumber in Kalkaska is also Carter Kitchen and Bath? Carter can be your one-stop shop for cabinets, countertops, and design assistance. Mention Q100 and save $500 off your new kitchen project. $500. Your local Kalkaska Carter Lumber professional has years of experience in remodels and new builds. They'll turn your vision into a beautiful reality to grace your home for decades. CarterLumber.com is where your vision becomes reality.
Gaylord Family Dentistry has been providing Northern Michigan families with personal pain-free dental care since 1992. The staff at Gaylord Family Dentistry are aware that some people don't love going to the dentist. They make sure your visit is a calm and easy experience. Working with most insurance plans, they specialize in everything from cleaning to implants, root canals, cosmetic dentistry, and dental emergencies. Located in Gaylord and Sheboygan, visit GaylordFamilyDentistry.com and discover dentists making a difference.
For the 71st time, Michigan and Wisconsin squaring off this afternoon. Wolverines have won 19 of the last 21 in the series here at the Big House. Defensive scouting report now. Nebraska mustered 27 points 2 weeks ago in the Wolverines' last game, but a few big mistakes belied some of the dominance that Michigan displayed, especially up front. The Wolverines overwhelmed Nebraska's offensive line to the tune of 7 sacks. Here's defensive coordinator Wink Martindale on that performance in Lincoln.
I think that was the physicality that we came into the game with, and we were consistent with it the entire game, and it was good to see us last 4 quarters keeping that type of physicality throughout the 4 quarters.
Physicality, that's a great word to describe this Michigan defense, John.
It is, and when you think about this Michigan defense, it's about violence. It's about winning those battles up front, and then you start thinking about Brandon Hillman and the presence that the secondary has. Cole Sullivan, Jimmy Rolder at that linebacker position behind Ernie and Jay Sean. It's all based on being the bully, being the one that the intimidator when they take the field.
To Wisconsin, the story has been quarterback for this Badgers offense, and it'll be a story here today as well. Maryland transfer Billy Edwards Jr. earned the starting nod pretty much back when he committed to Wisconsin out of the portal. Had some injuries during the offseason, hurt his knee in the opener against Miami University, a pretty uninspiring 17-0 win. He then missed the next 2 games, did Edwards, before coming back against his old team 2 weeks ago. Only made 3 passes. Luke Fickell had admitted afterward probably didn't save Edwards from himself, trying to come back too early, and he left the game. Most of the quarterback snaps this year have gone to Danny O'Neal, a San Diego State transfer who had 71% completions, but 5-to-5 touchdown to interception ratio. It will not be O'Neal today. Luke Fickell announcing on his pregame radio interview with our friends over in the Wisconsin Learfield Network that it'll be Southern Illinois transfer Hunter Simmons who will start today. Simmons only played 5 games with the Salukis last year, had then suffered a season-ending injury. So a lot of moving parts. For more on that Wisconsin offense, here's Wink Martindale.
They're a pain in the butt to prepare for with all the different shifts and movements and all that other stuff that they have. But, it's... I think, in listening to the head coach and, the offensive coordinator, they had their bye week too. So I think they're going to get, back to what's good for them and, and where, establish their identity, which, to me, that sounds like, the run game is established, the run game, and they have really good backs. They got 2 really good receivers. The quarterback, you just got to see which one's healthy and, who's going to line up out there.
The 2 running backs Wink alluded to, Darian Dupree and Dylan Jones, they're both around 150 yards of rushing total, about 4 yards a carry. But a fascinating quarterback setup all season long for the Badgers. They go with Hunter Simmons. Thoughts on the preparation now for a quarterback that I'm sure they watched some film on, but he has not been much of a factor this year.
Well, and the hard part about preparing for a lot of these quarterbacks, and you think about this Wisconsin team, it was a transfer quarterback 2 years ago. It was a transfer quarterback last year. It's 3 transfer quarterbacks this year that will take the field, and they just haven't been able to find that guy that they can build an offense around, whether it's going to be more of a passing attack or a rushing attack. And the offensive line's kind of in no man's land right now. They've sprinkled in some transfers there as well. They're just trying to really put a Band-Aid on things at this point, and they're just a team that is – they just don't know their identity right now. And when you're going into your 5th game and you don't know what type of team you want to be, and maybe they've talked about it, but you got to go out there and actually do it and show it. That's where you start to really and we talked about their schedule. This is the first of about 5 games where it is an unbelievable schedule for Wisconsin.
Home against Iowa next week, home against Ohio State, then at Oregon, home against Washington, at Indiana, home against Illinois, at Minnesota.
It's a tough stretch.
No doubt. It's a tough season.
It is. It's a tough season.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, no doubt. When you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Plus, for fans outside of Southeast Michigan, you can catch our 2-hour tailgate show leading up to your station's coverage on the Varsity Network app. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app. True freshman cornerback Jaden Sanders, who has been turning heads in recent weeks. He's our player interview as we get you ready for this 12-10 kickoff. Wolverines and Badgers. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Champions Circle is the leading Michigan athletics fan engagement community. We connect fans with once-in-a-lifetime experiences, produce public and private events, offer club memberships, and operate an online retail store, selling exclusive apparel, trading cards, autographs, and other memorabilia featuring Michigan student athletes. To become a member or learn more about how you can support your favorite Michigan student athletes, visit championscircleufm.com. Champions Circle is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan Athletics.
Here's Charles Woodson, Michigan legend.
As a young man, I gave my all to the Wolverines, making history, earning a Heisman Trophy, and now I'm back. Introducing Woodson Whiskey, the first spirit sponsor in school history, crafted with the same passion and excellence that defined my career. Woodson Bourbon Whiskey, where legacy meets excellence. Go blue and go Woodson Whiskey. Cheers, and please drink responsibly.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Greasy bootleg right, filing deep for Tuman. Touchdown, Michigan!
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
She's the love of your life, but she's getting old. Do you keep her or part ways? Thanks to Roscommon Auto Recyclers, you can get the older parts she needs to keep coming along. Roscommon Auto Recyclers has a large inventory of original manufacturer recycled auto parts. And if they don't have what you're looking for, the sales team can find it for you. Here's to many more years of the love of your life. Roscommon Auto Recyclers. They do it all. RoscommonAutoRecyclers.com.
This is Kevin Johnson, president of Johnson's Propane. We are a locally owned and operated business since 1954 here in Northern Michigan. We have been ranked #1 by People's Choice for Northern Michigan's propane supplier year in and year out, thanks to our loyal customers. We want to invite any homeowner to give us a call for our switch out special. Here at Johnson's Propane, safety is our #1 priority because we have families too. Visit us at johnsonspropane.com or like us on Facebook for our weekly promotions and specials. Johnson's Propane, a name you can trust.
Less than an hour away from the Wolverines and the Wisconsin Badgers here from the Big House. Great to visit with Michigan corner Jaden Sanders. Take us through the adjustment to college football. What have been some of the areas that maybe you've had to try to relearn or learn at this level of football?
Physicality. I feel like at this big level, being physical is like the main thing that you need to do to be on the field. And within this defense, I feel like communication is the second most important. Like, you have to be very, very verbal to play this defense and be on the field.
What are some areas that maybe you picked up quicker than you had anticipated?
I felt like I picked up the plays pretty quick.
Sharon had mentioned earlier this week, and Wink had validated it, that early in camp, they both kind of looked at each other and said, Jaden Sanders is going to play for us this year and help us win. When did you realize you were going to be able to play and play in games and in moments that the game was still in doubt?
I felt like mid-fall camp, because I felt like throughout summer camp or summer conditioning and then the beginning of fall camp, I was just going out there and proving that I can be on the field, and I felt like everything was being noticed within the middle of fall camp.
Who have you learned from player-wise, looked up to? Who's helped you along the way as you've gotten up to speed?
Is honestly the starting back end. So Zeke, Shug, Brandon Hillman, TJ, Rod. I feel like all the older guys are trying to help younger guys, knowing that they're going to need everybody in the room. So they try to help the young guys as much as they can with the wrong stuff that they do and just correcting everybody.
How would you describe the impact that front seven, that great linebacker core, the rotation of defensive linemen who come in, how do those guys make your life easier, make the rest of the secondary's lives easier?
Man, it makes it so great. Just knowing that it's not only you on the field, it's 11 people, and just not the back end, just with the front seven getting the pressures that they do, I feel like it doesn't take that long to cover a guy because I just know they're going to get back there.
Going back to your high school recruiting, why did you ultimately choose Michigan?
I felt like Michigan wasn't a big city, but just knowing that they play in the Big Ten. So the Big Ten is a very physical conference, and I think I'm pretty physical myself, and I wanted to put myself up for a test. And just having the connection to the coaching staff, I feel like all the coaches were very genuine, and that everybody has the same end goal.
Your dad was a great player at TCU. What did you learn from him? How did he help you early on in your life and along the way?
Just being able to take up everything that he was taught in college, just knowing that, I feel like that put me ahead of my game myself. And I just feel like that put me in a great position.
To Wisconsin, what stands out about the Badgers offensively? What's going to be important for you guys to sink in on in this matchup?
From what I know they have a very good receiver core, and the QB can get it there. So just knowing that the receivers are big, lanky, they're actually pretty fast for their height. I just feel like that's a good matchup for us.
Lastly, you mentioned the physicality of the Big Ten. You experienced one Big Ten game. Did it feel as physical as you expected? Did it live up to that reputation?
Yes, sir, it did.
That's great. Thanks, Jaden. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
There's Jaden Sanders, Michigan and Wisconsin coming up. Much more to do on the pregame show as we continue. This is Wolverines football from Learfield.
Hey, Wolverine fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Michigan football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Michigan Wolverines. Let's go, Wolverines! SeatGeek.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Michigan completes a 15-0 national championship season here in Houston.
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Play a fabulous fall round for a fabulous fall price at Twin Birch Golf Club in Kalkaska. 9 holes with cart is just $25, or play 18 with cart for just $35. Then take time to relax after your round, or anytime at the brand new Twin Birch Restaurant. It has a huge bar with 12 beers on tap and lots of TVs, so you can cheer on the Lions, Spartans, and Wolverines to have a winning season. Book your tee time or get details on membership and amenities at twinbirchgolf.com.
Gaylord Family Dentistry has been providing Northern Michigan families with personal pain-free dental care since 1992. The staff at Gaylord Family Dentistry are aware that some people don't love going to the dentist. They make sure your visit is a calm and easy experience. Working with most insurance plans, they specialize in everything from cleaning to implants, root canals, cosmetic dentistry, and dental emergencies. Located in Gaylord and Sheboygan, visit GaylordFamilyDentistry.com and discover dentists making a difference.
Wolverines gearing up for a homecoming clash on a beautiful, warm day here in Ann Arbor against the Wisconsin Badgers. We welcome you back into the pregame show, which is presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan Athletics. Jack Miller's alongside here high atop Michigan Stadium. Jason Avant's down there on the sidelines. Jason, let's talk about the warmth out there. This is odd for an early October game. You could have a really chilly game anytime in the month of October here in the great state of Michigan, but it's pretty toasty down there.
Hey, every sideline reporter would love this weather.
Oh, yeah.
I'm included. It's 83, 84 degrees, whatever it is down here. I am in heaven right now. I like the heat. I know the big guys, the offensive linemen up in the booth, they like the cold weather, and not me so much.
That's a bold strategy with the All Blues out there, too. Hopefully you guys were hydrating all week long, knowing that it was going to be hot like this. I'm sure that was a point of emphasis for the program was hydrate, because it's hot, and people aren't used to that right now. And, we got the dark unis going on out there, so important to watch that, Jason, as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Jason, impact of a bye week for a player. How do you maximize the week? It's not off, but you're not playing a game.
Well, I would say do less when it comes to physical activity, do more when it comes to the mental approach to the game. You want to watch all of your plays individually and see how you can become better, as an individual, right? So if you're a receiver, what are the negative plays that I've had? What are the positive things that I've done? What coverages have I struggled against? Am I separating versus man coverage, and how can I affect the game in a different way? So from a mental standpoint, that's what the bye week is. And also from a coaching standpoint, you want to pinpoint the things that you do well and do those things more, and then eliminate the bad plays or the things that hadn't been successful. So as a player, not so much physically, but more mentally.
Yeah, Jason, you said it well. I think it's a good time for self-reflection, right? When you're in the season, everything's kind of coming at you so fast. You're in that routine, and yeah, of course, you're always trying to get better, but you're also preparing for the next opponent. You don't have that, obviously, during a bye. So it's a great time to relax, rest, recuperate, and really spend some time thinking about where am I at, and Jason, just like you said, where do I want to go?
And with it being 4 games into the season, a third of the regular season is done, a chance to kind of look back, Jack. Your thoughts on some units you've really been impressed by, and maybe some others that need to start making a jump starting today with a critical October starting up.
Yeah, I think everyone's playing pretty well. I think the linebacker group has been awesome, as advertised at the beginning of the year. That group is deep. They play hard. They know where to be, and they're out there making plays. It's good to see the O-line find some rhythm last week. And I really think it's up to the wide receivers to kind of take that next step. Jason, I don't want to steal your thunder. I know you probably have some thoughts on what that group needs to do. But if they can figure that out, and that passing game is a true weapon, not just, we'll pass when we have to because we want to run. If Bryce can start to connect with those guys on a more regular basis, watch out, because there's enough talent on this field to go toe-to-toe with anybody. Love to see that wide receiver group get going a bit more.
Yeah, boy, Jack, Jack's calling your guys out there, Jason.
We're not going to talk about the injury report that's happening in the offensive line room. We're going to talk about.
Wow. Jason, tell them about how that offensive line's doing, pushing teams into earth wax. Come on, what do we got?
Yeah. You know what? I have to agree with Jack in this situation, right?
There was so much regret in that tone.
I didn't want to acknowledge his existence during this portion of the episode, right? But I must say that the offensive position group that has to step up and get to that level is the receivers. The receivers are going to be able. They're going to have to be able to get open versus man-to-man, and they have to do it consistently. We have a young quarterback, not a running quarterback, but a young quarterback. You need maximum separation, and we haven't seen that. And we left a lot of plays on the field thus far in the season, especially in the Nebraska game. There's 3 or 4 catches that turn that game, and put that game out of reach early if the receivers make those plays. So there's going to be plays to be made. Hopefully we can turn it loose and call some play calling like we did versus Nebraska in order to have some one-on-ones down the field, but we have to make those plays. Guys like Samaj Morgan have to continue to grow and make those plays.
Let's talk about Wisconsin a little bit. Jason, we were talking to you off air a little bit. Hunter Simmons getting the call at quarterback. So Billy Edwards Jr., the Maryland transfer, he's ruled out for this game. They've mostly been using Danny O'Neal, a San Diego State transfer who Luke Fickell said would still have some sort of involvement in the game. We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, Wisconsin just been searching, and if you're searching in October, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah, we know what they're dealing with. We had Rich Rod here, and that's no offense to anyone, but we had Rich Rod here where it was an identity crisis thing for us, where we totally changed the program and started out, doing things in spread when we've traditionally been like a West Coast power eye type of a team. And that's what Wisconsin is going through. They're air raid now. They are built on the offensive line and running the football. So we'll see how that translates. But Hunter Simmons has done well in his small, playing size that he's had, sample size, 7 for 9, 170-something yards. So he's done well, and I think they are just searching to figure out who that guy is going to be. They do have some weapons on the outside, but we'll see if they're going to get back to their running style that we know Wisconsin is, or they're going to continue to just have an identity crisis.
Yeah, and they've been plagued by injuries, too. That hasn't helped their cause. So when you don't know what you want to do and you don't have the right guys out there to do it, it's a recipe for disaster. They are going through an identity crisis, trying to figure out how to get themselves back on track. They don't really necessarily, they're just calling plays. I was talking to Wink Martindale about this. They're just kind of calling plays out there. They're not really trying to ever get towards anything or get really good at this. And that's a problem when you get into October. So I would anticipate today from Wisconsin a lot of motion, some trickery, some things to try to catch Michigan's defense off guard and make them think, because if they just line up one-on-one, this Michigan defense is way too good. They're going to have to really get creative and try to fool that Michigan offense.
Well, I'll say this, Jack. I think that it's incumbent upon our secondary to play this a little bit tighter than they have been. In Nebraska, they did a good job, but they have to come up in order to stop those short passes so it can buy some time so Barham and Derek Moore can get to the quarterback, because they like to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand pretty fast.
Yeah, and they've thrown an interception in every game today. I think it's going to be a big day for the secondary, Jason. That's a good call out. They can play aggressive. You're playing, they're shuffling around at that quarterback position. Been a lot of sacks. Been a lot of turnovers. Could be a big day for the secondary.
We've got a few potential clues as to what Jason and Jack expect us to be talking about in the post-game show here on the pregame show, presented by Morgan & Morgan. We'll continue with that show and more coming up in about 15 minutes. Rob Joyce with a check of the out-of-town scoreboard in less than 10. All of that to come. Wolverines and Badgers on the horizon as you listen to Michigan football from Learfield.
Win with UMCU. Score a financial touchdown with the University of Michigan Credit Union's Go Blue checking account and get your exclusive Block M debit card for the extra point. UMCU's Go Blue checking account comes with no minimum balance, no hidden fees, and with the Block M debit card, you can show off your maize and blue wherever you go. Join today, Michigan fans. Visit umcu.org. That's umcu.org. UMCU is insured by NCUA.
When people yell, "Go Blue," most people think of the Michigan Wolverines. Hail to the victors, the maize and blue. But what does Go Blue mean in the liquor store? It means go for a long drink. Go for the blue can with undefeated flavor, a refreshing mix of citrus, sparkling soda, and a kick of real liquor. So go blue. Then go blue. For the Wolverines, we mean long drink. Proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics. 5.5% alcohol by volume. Gin with natural flavors. Copyright 2024. The Long Drink Company, Carmel, Indiana. Please enjoy responsibly.
The excitement, the passion, the tradition.
Hands off to Rob Lido, and it is! There it is! Oh, Rob Lido!
This is Michigan football from Learfield.
TVC's tip of the day. It's time to book your holiday and winter getaway, and TVC is ready to take you there. Whether you're visiting family and friends or chasing sunshine on southern beaches, TVC is the perfect flight for you. This fall, fly nonstop to Boston with JetBlue and experience the vibrant colors of autumn in the Northeast. Or choose from top carriers like American, Delta, and United. Plus enjoy ultra-low fares on Allegiant. Seats are filling fast. Book your holiday and winter travel today. Explore all your flight options at tvcairport.com.
For more than 25 years, families across northern Michigan have trusted Phil's Direct Flooring to make their homes feel warm and welcoming. Phil will measure, help you choose, and make sure your choice is installed right so you can enjoy floors that look beautiful for years to come. You may find cheaper options at the big box stores, but you won't find the friendly service and attention to detail that sets Phil's Direct Flooring apart. Phil's Direct Flooring is where quality meets home. Call 989-732-7283. That's 989-732-SAVE.
Oh.
Today's broadcast is presented by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. Wolverines, Badgers, we're live for this important Big Ten matchup at Michigan Stadium.
And the most important segment of the pregame show presented by Morgan & Morgan, the truth tellers, the future seers, Jack Miller and Jason Avant. Jack, we missed you at Nebraska. Give us what you think we're going to be talking about in postgame.
I think it's a big day for the defense, particularly the secondary. I think that Wisconsin has thrown an interception in every game thus far. They're struggling to protect the quarterback. They're rotating quarterbacks. We got a guy who's only thrown 9 passes who's going to be out there for the Badgers. I think this defense is going to get after them. He's going to force the ball out of their hands. And the secondary can really play loose and go find the ball, go hawk it down. Big day from the secondary. That's my prediction.
Jason?
My prediction is going to be more so the receivers getting after their secondary. Alabama went for over 300. You saw what Maryland was able to do. I think our receivers are due for one of those types of games, and I think that we want to continue to see the pass game expand. And so there's going to be opportunities, and I think that they don't have the playmakers on the back end to stop us from going down the field. So I'm going to suggest that the receivers have a really big game, and I think McCulley may have his breakout game with 2 touchdowns. I'm going all the way in. Big prediction.
Yeah, it's a big statement game, right? Yeah. We're the better team. You're favored by a lot. This is an easy one to kind of overlook and all the hype and just kind of go out there and don't play your best ball game, let Wisconsin hang around, or you can go the other way and build off of what happened at Nebraska, build off of a bye week, come out here and take care of business the way you're supposed to. This is a big statement game as we get into the middle part, back end of the season, and where this team is going. We're going to see a lot today.
If Michigan gets through October unscathed, then November opens up to potentially be a winner get into the Indianapolis trip for the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State at the end of November. I'm gonna bring this trio together. I'm going to say that the breakout star today is a pass catcher who can block. Marlon Klein. Big game coming for Marlon. Off the availability report, ready to roll, and there's going to be opportunities down the field for the Wolverines in the passing game. That's what we think we're going to be talking about post-game. Stay tuned. Rob Joyce has his check of the out-of-town scoreboard. Then Doug Karsch visits with the head coach, Sharon Moore, all in preparation for the Wolverines and the Badgers. Homecoming in Ann Arbor. This is Wolverines football from Learfield.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of the University of Michigan. Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48226.
Michigan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Michigan Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Today's game is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. This is the Michigan Sports Network from Learfield.
Gear up like a boss at Blue Collar Clothing. They have the brands for folks who believe that working hard is a way of life. Like the company owner who still clocks in at the mill every day. Blue Collar Clothing on Morenci Avenue in Mile carries their own durable clothing brand, plus Carhartt, Red Wing, and other hard-working American-made clothing and footwear. Or shop for everything online at BlueCollarClothingCo.com. When you work hard, your deer should too. BlueCollarClothingCo.com.
Gaylord Family Dentistry has been providing Northern Michigan families with personal pain-free dental care since 1992. The staff at Gaylord Family Dentistry are aware that some people don't love going to the dentist. They make sure your visit is a calm and easy experience. Working with most insurance plans, they specialize in everything from cleaning to implants, root canals, cosmetic dentistry, and dental emergencies. Located in Gaylord and Sheboygan, visit GaylordFamilyDentistry.com and discover dentists making a difference.
A lot has changed since the last time Wisconsin and Michigan squared off at the Big House, but these Big Ten rivals are about to get reacquainted. As we get ready for kickoff, let's check in with Andy Hetzel from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan.
Hi, Doug. Wolverines are much tougher than Badgers in the wild, and I know that that's going to turn out to be true on the football field today.
Andy, I saw that one of Michigan's largest hospital systems has entered a full accountability agreement with Blue Cross. What does that term mean exactly?
Doug, it means that hospital is working with us to improve the quality and lower the cost of healthcare, and they're accountable financially for those results.
Historically, hospitals get paid by insurers like Blue Cross based on the number of test scans and procedures that are done.
That's right, Doug. Hospital payments remain a volume-based business, but that fee-for-service model is a big reason why hospital costs have gone up 250% since 2000. That's 4 times faster than the rate of inflation.
A national trend that dates back beyond 2000 is hospital consolidation. Is that adding pressure to costs here in Michigan?
Doug, in study after study, evidence points to higher costs as an outcome of mergers involving corporate hospital systems.
So bigger isn't always better, at least when it comes to keeping healthcare costs down.
Recently, Crane's Detroit Business reported that the 3 largest health systems in Michigan have gone from serving 30% of the market to 64% in just 3 short years. That's a result of consolidation. Michigan fans can read more about that report on our blog, mibluedaily.com/affordability.
Andy, I think all of us paying for the increasing cost of healthcare right now would say there's got to be a solution to rising prices.
Doug, we need payments to hospitals to be results-driven instead of volume-driven. By aligning payment to outcomes, we can improve the health of patients while lowering costs. Blue Cross has been paying primary care doctors this way for more than 20 years, resulting in $6.3 billion in avoided costs. By stepping up to the next level with us, large healthcare systems have potential to change the trajectory of healthcare costs and to improve the lives of millions of Michigan residents.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Doug. Go Blue.
Getting it out of Michigan and Wisconsin at 12:10 from the Big House. Rob Joyce with you in the network studios with our first look around the rest of college football. One of 2 nooners in the Big Ten this afternoon. The other comes at Ross-Ade. Purdue welcomes in number 22 Illinois. Boilermakers have won 4 of the last 5, 15 of the last 20 in the series between the two, though the Illini won last year in Champaign, a 50-49 overtime barn burner. 3:30, Penn State comes off its first loss of the year last week to Oregon. Nittany Lions head west to face winless UCLA, while Washington comes off its first loss of the season as well, heading east to face undefeated Maryland. Then Northwestern wraps up the non-conference slate at home against Louisiana Monroe to round out the 3:30 kicks. 4 o'clock, Nebraska hosts Michigan State. Both of those teams are 3-1 overall, 0-1 in Big Ten play. 7:30 tonight, Ohio State tries for a 14th consecutive victory over Minnesota. That's the day in the Big Ten. Top 25 today. Other noon starts include 12th-ranked Georgia at home against a Kentucky team that has beaten 15 straight times, while number 14 Iowa State puts its 5-0 record on the line at Cincinnati. Notable games later on, a top 20 SEC affair at 3:30. 10th-ranked Alabama hosts number 16 Vanderbilt, who upset the Tide last year in Nashville. Vandy 5-0 ranked in the top 20 for the first time since 2008. Then 7:30 tonight, a pivotal ACC game. 18th-ranked Florida State and number 4 Miami in Tallahassee. Seminoles coming off a loss last week at Virginia. First road game of the year for the Hurricanes. Again, Michigan and Wisconsin in a few minutes. Coming up next on the pregame show presented by Morgan & Morgan, we'll get the thoughts of head coach Jerome Moore. He chatted with Doug next. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield.
Lions fans have even more to cheer about with the new Detroit Lions games from the Michigan Lottery.
Rah, rah!
Featuring a roster of fan favorites, Instant Ticket, Pull Tab, Fast Cash, and online play, you could win prizes up to $500,000.
Lions victory.
With the new Detroit Lions games, only from the Michigan Lottery. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go, go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
It's time for the annual Team Impact All-In 5K. Join Team Impact on October 19th and help support their mission to create a world where every child facing serious illness and disability feels supported by something bigger, and every collegiate team is transformed by a greater purpose. Remember, there's no wrong way to 5K. Run, walk, or roll a 5K in your neighborhood, at your local college campus, or join one of Team Impact's hub locations. Join the movement to get all kids in the game. Team Impact. All in, all together. Learn more at teamimpact.org/all-in5K.
Kickoff is moments away. So now let's hear from the Wolverines head coach. With Sharon Moore, here's Doug Karsh.
Getting you set for Michigan and Wisconsin, and we're joined by the head coach of the Wolverines, Sharon Moore, for a pregame chat. And Coach, let's start with your return. The players, the team, seem very excited to have you back when midnight hit a couple weeks ago.
I got an inordinate amount of text at 12:01 on throughout the morning. First of all, I was like, you guys should probably go to bed since you just got back. But just so thankful and blessed to be back with the team and be back with the boys. I love those kids so much, and to watch them was so fun. Killed me that I couldn't be there, but watching them made me so proud to be a part of the team and be with them. And I was back in the building pretty early. No one was here. I got to just walk around the building by myself. Every inch of the building I walked around, just how thankful I am to be at Schembeckler Hall every day. So never take it for granted, but exciting times.
All right, well, it was right back to work. Bye week, when you go into a bye week, you probably have a to-do list. Yeah. Did you accomplish everything that you hoped with a week off from games?
Yeah, number one piece was get healthy. Get guys back that we thought we could get back. Feels like we did that at a high rate. We really took care of the guys, but got a lot of football done, got a lot of things done, got better as a team at football. There's some things we did just fundamentally we wanted to do as a whole unit, as a whole team, offense, defense, special teams that we got accomplished, but get guys back healthy and then provide some depth and see what guys, we call it opportunity week, see what guys could really pop off and gave themselves an opportunity, but give our team an opportunity to get better, and I think we did that.
Well, you mentioned a couple guys earlier in the week, 2 wide receivers, the competition in that room. You were looking to get some more out of the position. Jamar Browder and Andrew Marsh, 2 freshmen. Will we see more of them today?
Yeah, Andrew Marsh really, he just made plays every single day and put himself in a position to be one of the top guys this week. So excited to see him play. Jamar Browder will get some, he'll get some action too. But it's going to be fun to watch these 2 young freshmen as they blossom throughout the year.
All right, let's talk about your offensive line. You'll be integrating some injured players back in. Their status we'll see. But how did you feel about the way the line has performed, come together, and now the depth that you have developed?
It's always good to have great depth in the O-line. We always say it takes about 10 guys to go win it all, and 10 guys to win games in the Big Ten because it's a physical league every single week, and no difference this week with the number 1 rush defense in the Big Ten. And I think for us, it's all about the continuity, and they're gelling at the right time. Those guys have done a really good job. Coach Newsom's done a really good job of coaching and pushing them to the right lengths, and they continue to get better.
You use a term that the depth chart is a living, breathing organism, and how much has that inspired maybe some of that competition, and have you seen it bring out the best in your roster?
Oh, yeah. At all positions, we told everybody, not everybody has it's promised that starting spot next week. You got to go earn it, and you got to go play like it. And a lot of guys played like it in the Nebraska game, and a lot of guys played like it in the Central Michigan game. And to watch them this week, they did the same thing, right? Those guys that were starters, so they really provided that opportunity. But there's some guys that really pushed, and it's been fun to see those different guys at different positions battle.
I don't know if you heard Rod Moore's story about his return. He was so excited to hit somebody on his first play back. He blew up Jair Hill.
I did. I saw it. I was so happy when I saw Rod out on the field. I think I stood up off my couch with my iPad in my hand, and I was yelling at the top of my lungs. And I was like, second play's in, we get a pick. I was like, he must be a good luck charm. He's back out there. So it was great to see Rod, and just excited for him.
And Zeke Berry, you expect to get him back today?
Yeah, excited to get Zeke back. He feels good and ready to roll.
Can you say enough about the young guys that had to step up in his absence?
No, I can't. I mean, Jaden Sanders, and he's going to play. He played so well, deserves to play. He's earned the right to play. He's going to play a lot of football here for the rest of his career, and he'll play again today.
All right. Defensively, it looks like the experiment to move Jayshawn Barham up to the edge.
Great experiment. If you're talking about trying to put something to the test and seeing if it worked, that flying colors by our defense staff, Coach Wink and Coach Lou and Coach McPhee, just an outstanding job. And yeah, it's worked, and it'll continue to happen.
Michigan and Wisconsin coming up. More with the coach straight ahead. You're listening to Michigan Football from Learfield.
We asked our team, why did you choose to work for Michigan Medicine? Here are some of their answers.
Being able to interact with patients, offer them hope, and hopefully giving them care that they couldn't receive anywhere else is the biggest thing.
Because it's the best of the best. We have great benefits, we have great leadership.
I love what I do. This is a place where you want to be if you're looking to make change.
To our team, we say, thank you for choosing us. We shape the future of healthcare together at Michigan Medicine.
People can't have access to quality medical care without affordable health insurance. At Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, we understand increasing health insurance costs are becoming more of a strain on the budgets of the businesses and people we serve. Affordability matters. It affects real families, real decisions, and real care. That's why at Blue Cross we're dedicated to finding solutions. To learn about this critical issue and our efforts to make healthcare affordable for all, visit mibluedaily.com/affordability today.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Michigan fans, kickoff is right around the corner, and Buddy's, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946, has the best corners in the game. With its iconic square shape and crispy, crunchy corners, Buddy's is a proud partner of Michigan athletics. Handcrafted daily with Wisconsin brick cheese, fresh toppings, and sauce on top. Whether you're tailgating at the Big House or watching from the best seat in your house, start game day off right with Buddy's. Get 10% off your order right now at buddyspizza.com with promo code 10OFF.
We're back with more from head coach Sharon Moore. Once again, here's Doug Karsh.
Coach, it looks like each week a little bit more is rolled out with a Bryce Underwood-led offense. What do you expect to see from Bryce today?
Just a little bit more, and he just gets better and better and better, and just put a little bit more on his plate and a little more that he can do, and a little bit more of what Chip wants to do with the offense, and just giving him piece by piece, and he's handled it well, and having the bye week has helped, getting some extra reps at things and extra days to prepare. So really going to be fun to watch him.
Maybe the most impressive thing is keeping the ball out of harm's way. Can you say enough about what this freshman has done?
Yeah, great poise. You know, I'm going to harp on the fumble that he had because, you know, we always point out the bad things. Those things stick out the worst. But to watch him bounce back, to watch him continue to have the poise he does as a freshman, to go in that environment in Lincoln, which I know is loud, crazy. Same thing like he did in Norman, just the poise he has. And to be back home is going to be great for him to play in front of our crowd in the Big House and have that support. Not have to deal with the crowd noise on that end is going to be huge.
Let's talk about Wisconsin's quarterbacks. They have two of them, Billy Edwards Edwards, they're calling him day-to-day. It doesn't sound very promising, but also Danny O'Neal. Your thoughts on what they bring to the field?
Yeah, Billy, very experienced quarterback, was one of the more prominent passers in the league last year, and obviously dealing with injury, but we got to be prepared for him to play. Has a lot of poise, and it's played a lot of football, and Danny is more mobile. Younger guy that played last year at San Diego State, started as a true freshman, and came here, so at Wisconsin. But he's dangerous with his legs, but we got to do a good job of affecting the quarterbacks, either one of them.
What's odd with Wisconsin is they have just over 400 yards rushing in 4 games. We're used to them being a ground and pound team. What do you see in their run game?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to find the way and find the rhythm of how they're going to do it, because they've got 2 good backs. So, we've got to be prepared for all the different things, the formations, the shifts, the motion that they do to create eye violations for defenses. And we got to play gap sound, and we got to play physical. And defensively, they are the number 1 rush defense in the country. What do you see on film from them? Sound, square. We always talk about square shoulders. They got big guys in the middle. They got guys that play with hard edges, and they run fast sideline to sideline. So we got to do a good job of sticking with the plan and staying the course. Coach, good luck. I bet you can't wait to run down that tunnel. Let's go. I'm ready. Appreciate it. Sherrone Moore. We'll hear from him after the game. Kickoff is next. The Wolverines and the Badgers. You're listening to Michigan Football from Learfield.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of the University of Michigan. Michael Hanna, 150 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48226.
Michigan Women's Soccer's annual Maze Out comes your way on Thursday, October 9th at 7 o'clock when the Wolverines welcome rival Michigan State to Ann Arbor. Arrive early because the first 500 fans receive a Maze jersey rally towel. To secure your seats for this huge game, visit mgoblue.com/tickets. That's mgoblue.com/tickets for Michigan Women's Soccer against Michigan State, Thursday, October 9th at 7 o'clock. Go Blue, wear Maze, and cheer loud.
Experiencing a Wolverines game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud sponsor of University of Michigan athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
You're in a great place. You're 1-0 in the Big Ten.
Getting away win in the Big Ten, it's huge.
He delivers and it's tipped and intercepted. Jair Hill breaks it up and Cole Sullivan comes down with it. Underwood quarterback draw. Oh, he's got a Red Sea wide open. Touchdown. Outside the numbers at the 20, 15, 10. Touchdown. Justice Haynes, a lightning bolt from 75 yards. Steps up and he's in trouble and down he goes again. Michigan's pass rush has overwhelmed Nebraska.
We demanded greatness from each other, and we're going to keep raising that bar. We plan on coming out with the same intensity.
Just got to do a really good job and be us and play physical.
Being one unit, playing complementary football.
Play off each other, feed off each other. We believe, and we're confident in everybody's ability in this locker room to go out there and play. And I'm excited for what's to come.
Michigan Football is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of Michigan athletics. By the Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools. Your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Coke Zero Sugar. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. And by Don'tRegretTheBet.org. Helpful tips to play it smart when you gamble from the Michigan Gaming Control Board. Once again, with national champion John Jensen, here's Doug Karsh.
John, it's a hot one here in Ann Arbor today.
It's warming up, that's for sure. It's going to be hot on the field.
Mother Nature left the oven on here in Ann Arbor. Usually we don't feel it quite as much up here, but today, a maze-out crowd, a homecoming crowd, and a battered Wisconsin Badger team in town to take on your Wolverines. Shamoran Moore is back on the Michigan sideline, his second full year. He is 11-5. Going up against Luke Fickell, career record 15-15 at Wisconsin here in year 3, 78-40, including his years at Cincinnati and that 6-7 season he had at Ohio State in an interim role as a player against Michigan. Fickell went 1-3. He is 0-2 against Michigan as a head coach. And John, the bye week goals, you just heard Coach Moore talk about them. What do you want to see today?
Well, I want to see him come out and not miss a beat. That's really the first thing, and that's probably the toughest thing to do today is to come out and make sure that you start fast, whether it's offense or defense on the field. Really, the tone is going to be set by the special teams. So you got to come out and make sure that you're operating the same way you were when you left the field in Nebraska.
Wolverines will be getting some guys back. We expect to see Zeke Berry today. We'll see who gets the call up front on the offensive line. But it's a Wisconsin offense that is battered. They will start their 5th different offensive line combination here in their 5th game. Their 4th different center, Davis Heintzman, will start at center. It's been rough for them up front.
It has, and I know Michigan's had a couple of different guys playing different positions, but when you have it every single week, it's really hard to build that continuity up front. And as a team that's struggling to find their identity, are they going to be physical and run the ball? Are they going to be a passing team? It all starts up front either way, and they just haven't been able to be consistent up front.
We'll check in with our man down on the field, Jason Avant, coming up shortly. First, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Michigan football from Learfield.
WGRY, a division of Blarney Stone Broadcasting, 101.1 FM, Roscommon.
Tunnel on the eastern sideline as they take the field in the traditional home blue uniforms with the great winged helmets. Here come the Wolverines, John.
It's always a beautiful sight to see them come across. And you know, when I was talking about, making sure they start fast, they're always led by the captains. And that is, coming out of the tunnel, it's kind of symbolic, but when you get on the field defensively,